Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week number 17 of the 25-26 EFL Championship season. But as always, before we do that, let's see how I did last week. I got no scorelines correct, but I did get 3 outcomes correct. So that is 3 points, taking my season total up to 109. And here is how the championships table looks after 16 matches. And without further ado, let's begin predicting this midweek's matches. And we begin by predicting a huge relegation 6-pointer. It's Norwich City against Oxford United. And both these sides are struggling at the minute, Norwich especially at Carrow Road. They're yet to pick up a win there this season. And as for Oxford, well, they're a tricky side to predict because you kind of can predict them to get results here and there, but they hardly ever pick them up. But with Norwich struggling, especially at home, I think this is a good opportunity to give Oxford something here. I haven't predicted an Oxford win yet this season, and I think this could be the first time. Norwich obviously under a gelling period with a new manager, and I think that will take time and it will bounce and click eventually, but I'm going Oxford to win 2-1. I think Oxford will be happy with the win and push further away from that drop zone. So 2-1 the U's. And we move straight from the bottom to the top. It's second against first. It's Middlesbrough against Coventry City. And both these sides have been very impressive this season. Coventry coming back from that 3-2 victory last time out against West Brom. Middlesbrough drawing 1-1 with Oxford. It's not the best result, but of course this is tricky because I've liked Middlesbrough this season, but that has been under Rob Edwards, and as I said, he's now jumped ship to Wolves in the Premier League. But Coventry, they are flying right now. Just the one loss this season. It's tricky because Coventry did lose, or were losing to West Brom, but they showed very good quality, character to fight back. But it is at Middlesbrough's ground. I'm going to sit on the fence with a 2-2 draw. You can call me stupid if you want, but I can see both sides picking up a point, and well, a point would be good enough for or both to stay in the top 2, but a 2-2 draw, Desmond on this one. Next up, we've got Stoke against Charlton. And both these sides have lost back-to-back games now. Stoke off the back of a 2-1 defeat to Leicester last week, and Charlton losing 5-1 to Southampton. Very good result for the Saints. I mean, that was the Nathan Jones derby. I have liked Charlton this season, but with this game being at the Bet365, I think I'm going to back Stoke here. I like them under Mark Robins this season. They're currently third in the table, and I think they'll be happy to pick up the 3 points, because Charlton looked a bit disgraceful against Southampton. I'm going to go for a Stoke win here, 2-1. 2-1 to the Potters. I can see Stoke winning and moving the chains further up to the top 2. So 2-1 Stoke. Next up, we've got Swansea against Derby County. And, well, this is a battle of two sides on quite differing form. Derby with only 1 defeat in the last 6. That was obviously last time to Watford, and then went 2-0 up, and then somehow lost 3-2. And Swansea have been on terrible form recently. And against Derby, I don't see it getting much better, to be honest. I think Derby will go back to winning ways here. I'm going for Derby 2-1. I think Derby might have enough to win this match, and yeah, it's looking pretty bleak for Swansea right now. But 2-1 Derby is where I'm going on this one, and them to get back to winning ways. And talking of Watford, they're up next against Preston North End, and yeah, Watford are on pretty good form right now. They are 11th in the table. They're pushing for the playoffs. Preston are currently in the playoff places in 5th place. But, I mean, it's tricky to predict really, because I like Preston for like low scoring draws this season, but Watford have been on great form. I kind of almost want to give Watford the win, but I think I'm going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw on this one. I can see Preston somehow snatching a draw. Maybe Watford are 1-0 up for a lot of the game, and Preston get a last-minute equaliser, and it ends 1-1, a point apiece, which would benefit Preston a bit more, you've got to say, but I'm going to sit on the fence with a draw on this one, 1-0. And the next game up is Hull City against Ipswich Town. And what a corker this game could be. Hull are on great form at the minute. But Ipswich are better away from home this season as well, it seems. So I don't really know which way to go here. Ipswich got the 0-0 draw against Wrexham. The thing is, Oxford are so unpredictable this season, and Hull have been on great form. Hull are the home side. I might go for Hull to win here. I'm going for Hull to win 2-1. I think I won't back Ipswich to lose very often this season, but this is one of the games I can see them losing. So 2-1 Hull, who are on great form, and well, that should push them even further into the playoffs. So 2-1 to the Tigers. Next up, we've got a battle of the parachute payment teams. It's Southampton against Leicester City. And this is a tricky one to predict. Both these sides off the back of a victory last game week. Southampton 5-1 winners against Charlton. Leicester obviously beating Stoke 2-1. This one is one of the trickier ones to predict this week, because it's at St Mary's. I do like Southampton more at home. I do like us at home, but Leicester, on their day, Leicester can show up. So I'm kind of torn between the Southampton win and the draw here. If it was at the King Power, I might be more willing to back Leicester to get something. But you know what? Soon as it's at St Mary's, let's go for a Southampton win to keep that ball rolling. I'm going for Southampton to win 2-1. I think, Southampton will be happy with the 3 points and push up even further up the table. So 2-1 to the Saints. Let's march on. Then we move into tomorrow's set of matches. It's Sheffield United against Portsmouth. And both these sides are off the back of great victories. Sheffield United winning the Steel City derby 3-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. Portsmouth beating Millwall 3-1 at home last week. I just think I'm not that convinced by Portsmouth this season. They can get the odd result here and there, but I think they might go back to losing ways here. As for Sheffield United under Chris Wilder, it is too early to say, but I do think they might have finally clicked under Chris Wilder again. I think they might start to push up the table slightly, maybe not towards playoffs, but at least away from that relegation scrap here. Of course, if Portsmouth do lose to Sheffield United, then they'll be looking over their shoulders here. But I'm going to back Sheffield United to win 3-1. I think it could be fairly comfortable. I wonder if Sheffield United have got back to scoring goals this season. I think this might be the start of a slight run for Sheffield United. I'm going for a fairly comfortable win here against an unpredictable Portsmouth side, so 3-1 to the Blades. Next up, we've got Blackburn Rovers against QPR in a battle of two sides very tricky to predict this season. Two streaky sides, it must be said. Blackburn, however, are on a great run of form right now. They're pushing away from the drop zone. And QPR, they're not terrible, but they're not in a great run of form at the minute. And I don't see that continuing. Because the games at Ewood Park, I do think Blackburn will continue their winning streak here. Against QPR side, who are struggling for goals and struggling for form right now. It could be a draw, but I'm going for a narrow Blackburn win, 1-0. I think they'll just get it over the line narrowly. I don't think it'll be a spectacular game, but I think all Blackburn need to do is win, get the 3 points and push up the table. So 1-0 Blackburn. Next up, we've got Millwall against Sheffield Wednesday. And this is tricky. Both these sides lost 3-1 last week. Millwall to Portsmouth 3-1. Sheffield Wednesday losing 3-0 to Sheffield United. Sheffield Wednesday aren't on great form at all at the minute. Still -4 points. Millwall are currently sitting 7th in the table. They're just outside the playoff spots. But, I mean, if I had to pick a winner here, I would pick Millwall, especially with them being the home side. But I don't know. Sheffield Wednesday are a tricky team to predict, really. I mean, they don't win very often, but I could see them picking up a draw here. Millwall haven't been on the best of form either recently. I am going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw on this one. I think Sheffield Wednesday might somehow get a result from somewhere here. This probably will come back to bite me, but I am going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw on this one, which is a point closer to both aspirations, but I mean, it's not very helpful for either side. But I can see it playing out 1-0. Next up, we move on to the racecourse. It's Wrexham against Bristol City. And Wrexham with a very good 0-0 draw against Ipswich last weekend. Bristol City got back to winning ways, 4-0 winners. Can't remember who that was against, but it's tricky. Bristol City have got back to their brilliant best this season, it seems. But it is at the racecourse, and I do like Wrexham more at home. On their day, these two sides can score a couple goals at least. I don't want to back against either side here, so I might sit on the fence here with a fairly entertaining game. I'm going for another Desmond on this one, another 2-2 draw. I think a point would keep Bristol City in the playoff spots, and Wrexham, it keeps them about mid-table, but yeah, I just think I can see a draw playing out here, so 2-2. And then the final game is West Brom against Birmingham City. And, well, this is a fairly easy game to predict, I feel, because West Brom aren't on great form at all. They did look very impressive for the first 36 minutes against Coventry last week. 2-0 to the good. And then Coventry came back to beat them. Birmingham with a 4-1 win against Norwich last week. I mean, but I feel like there's a real buzz around Birmingham right now. They're in great form. I think that form will continue. And of course they've got their new stadium plans as well. So I'm going to back Birmingham for a narrow win here. I'm going 2-1 to the Blues. I think Birmingham do have enough to win, and that'll push them mighty close to the playoffs, but just still outside. But 2-1 Birmingham. And there you have it, guys. All 12 championship matches done and dusted for another midweek. I'll be back later in the week to predict this weekend's set of matches, and I'll tell you how I got on in that video, and hopefully I do quite well, and I'll see you all in the next one.